Echo and Harper Audio present The Greatest Night, The Remarkable Life of William Marshal, The Power Behind 5 English Thrones, by Thomas Asbridge. Performed by Christopher Tester. For my brother, Per Asbridge. Preface. On Wednesday, the 6th of February, 1861, a young French scholar named Paul Mayer walked into Sotheby's auction house, then located just behind London's Covent Garden at 13 Wellington Street. A prestigious sale was scheduled to begin at 1 p.m., with the official catalogue proclaiming that some most valuable and important early manuscripts, chiefly on vellum, will be offered for purchase. These were works drawn from the celebrated Saville collection of rare medieval texts, assembled during the reign of Queen Elizabeth I and not displayed in public for more than 2 centuries. Mayer, a dedicated student of the Middle Ages, was in England to attend this event, and what he saw that day changed the course of his career, sparking a 40-year obsession, a hunt to uncover a lost history and a discovery that would reshape our understanding of the medieval world. A distinguished future awaited Paul Mayer. In time, he would achieve international renown as an academic and archivist, becoming the preeminent authority on early French manuscripts and the interpretation of arcane, handwritten texts. This rather esoteric expertise led Mayer to be called as a key witness in the notorious Dreyfus trial of 1898, where his testimony helped to clear the accused of espionage. But in early 1861, he was just a 21-year-old scholar, enrolled in Paris's esteemed centre of medieval studies, the École des Chartes, and still working on his somewhat uninspiringly titled thesis, Research on the Language Spoken in France in Barbarian Times, 5th to 9th centuries. Mayer had been sent to London by the staff of the Bibliothèque Impériale, soon to be redubbed the French National Library, so that he might bid on their behalf in the Sotheby's auction and hopefully acquire 3 well-known works of medieval French literature. Unfortunately, the library furnished him with only meagre funds, leaving little prospect of matching the wealthy private collectors and professional archivists sure to flock to the Saville sale. Mayer resolved to savour this exceptional opportunity nonetheless, and arrived at Sotheby's early in the morning, allowing himself time to stalk the exhibition room. For a man of his background and training, this was akin to entering a treasure vault. Over the next 2 hours, he scoured the tables, scribbling notes on each of the manuscripts presented. Many were copies of famous texts. Some were wonderfully ornate and highly decorated, with vibrantly coloured illuminations. But one that drew his eye was neither familiar nor at first glance especially remarkable. Listed as Lot 51, this unassuming work was bound in worn, dark brown leather, dating from the 16th century, and, in size, resembled a modern hardback book, its pages measuring 9.5 inches by 6 3/4 inches. The Sotheby's catalogue described it simply as a Norman French chronicle on English affairs, in verse, written on vellum by an Anglo-Norman scribe in the 13th century, and helpfully quoted the last 4 intriguing yet unspecific lines of its text. Here ends the Earl's story, and may God grant that his soul rest in eternal glory in the company of his angels. Amen. Carefully opening the front binding, Mayer could perceive no obvious identifying marks, no title or indication of subject matter. He was confronted by a simple but elegantly decorated text, with a minuscule script inscribed in black ink set out in 2 columns across 127 leaves, or pages, and a mixture of red and blue capital letters, each embellished with ornate, swirling, abstract designs. The first page showed some signs of water damage, but was still legible, so he examined the earliest sections of the work and jotted down a quick summary of his initial findings. Contains an original chronicle, which seems to report the conflict that broke out in England during the reign of Stephen, nephew of Henry I. Mayer began to suspect that this manuscript had remained
Sample complete. Ready to continue?